Hey YouTubers, I wanted to do a different video today. I can't get myself zoomed in. I wanted to make a different video today. Instead of being a car review or a update on my car build or a car show video. This one's actually going to be about something which means a lot to me, and I've been through it as well. My friend has just texted me and said that his mother has now got a brain tumour. I'm not sure what has happened, but it brought all the things back that I went through. My mum was diagnosed with cancer about 2 years ago, and it didn't end well. We lost her on December the 31st, and it sent shock waves through me. It really affected me. It affected the family, and it happened so fast, so fast. I mean, I must have gone to the hospital. I tried to go to the hospital as much as I possibly could, and because of work, obviously I had to earn and stuff like that. But I tried to be as normal as I possibly could. I'd recently started a new job elsewhere, and it affected the way I was working. It affected where I was, and I couldn't function properly for a long time. But anyway, I have to say that it was a very aggressive type of cancer that my mum had, and it spread to her lymph nodes, and it was just over. It was just over. We all knew it was going to be over, and I just watched my mum wither away, and I watched her just disappear in front of me. And it was so hard, and I realised that when you hear people say that their parents have got cancer, and you just think, well, that's nothing to me, what do I care about that? And then it happens to you. When it happens to you, that's where it becomes real, and that's when you realise that everything that you know and everything that has been normal it's now changed. And the toughest part was when my mum was being given a lot of these drugs, a lot of these chemotherapy drugs, and she was going through some real pain, and then they decided to give her some pain medication, which would send her to sleep quite regularly. And it got to the point when sometimes we'll be all there and she'll be asleep. But I remember before she died, I don't know what happened with what happened, but it was like there was nothing wrong with my mum. She sat up and she was doing work for work. And she was talking and she was active, and it was the most surreal thing I've ever seen. Because she was just like, there was no problem, there was nothing, there was no issue, and I didn't understand what was going on, and I thought that she was getting better, but it wasn't. I don't really know what happened. Maybe something wasn't pressing on something inside her brain, I don't know, but it got to the point where like the next day, slipped straight back into where she was. And then it was just a downhill spiral, and it's horrendous. And cancer takes no prisoners. Doesn't matter what colour you are, doesn't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter about anything. It will just take you. If you don't catch it early, it will take you. And unfortunately, it took my mum far too early, because my mum was stubborn. She wouldn't go to the doctors, but also it didn't help the fact that she was misdiagnosed quite regularly, which was a bit of a pain. A lot of the time it was misdiagnosed as acid reflux continuously, because she had cancer of the esophagus, and it was next to the bit that opens up, and it was quite a large tumour. and that was the reason why that was like that. And then it spread to her lymph nodes, and then it just straight to the brain. So yeah, it was quite a tough time, but I suppose that now she's in a better place. She was a very avid Star Trek fan, very avid Stargate fan. So when she passed away, she said that she's not going to die, she's ascending. So I suppose that's what we see it as now. So but I do hope that my friend, his mum is going to be in good health, and it's going to be treatable, and everything is going to be fine. On one last note, where my mum stayed, I'll put the description in where she stayed in the description. They were absolutely amazing there. They cared for my mum and probably a lot of other people as well. They would stay. There was a Scottish carer there, lovely guy. Really gave us assurances, and they just cared for her when she needed it. And what more can you ask for? I mean, I've heard some horror stories about carers where they're awful. I'm sure I've repeated myself multiple times on this video, but I think this will resonate with a lot of people. It resonates with me. It's still very, very fresh. And you know, there's sometimes when I pick something up and it reminds me of my mum. Yeah, it reminds me of her quite regularly. I mean, the car I was going to review was owned by her. So, but I've not been able to. I've been trying to think what to say about it, and it's difficult because all I think about is it's my mum's car. Right. Well, I won't say like, share and subscribe, because this is not really a like, share and subscribe kind of video. It's not really a upbeat one. It's more of a probably quite a down one, but just to remind you, there is people out there. There's people who can help you. There is support. I should have taken some counselling, but I never did. I thought I could handle it myself, and I did go in a bit of a spiral, a downward spiral, as it sometimes still encroaches on my life. I always remind myself that you never get over it. You just learn to live with it. Just remember, be strong. Be strong for your family member whoever has been diagnosed. Cheers, mate.